Hello, Collective. Wendy Joy. Just wanted to share with you a revelation that I actually experienced last night. So, yesterday I put my dogs out in their little house outside, and since they are avid escape artists, I made sure that every spot they could get out of was secure, or at least so I thought. And I went out front and I started cutting my hedges. They were just all over the place, and I couldn't handle looking at the flyaways. I like perfect lines. So when I went out there and I was cutting the hedges, I was 75% done because, unbeknownst to the young boy who once helped me cut my hedges, there are multiple sides to a hedge, not just the front and the top. So it took me maybe about an hour and a half, close to 2 hours, because the hedge line runs the entire width of my house on the front side, and then the entire width of my house, and then beyond on the side street side. I didn't even get that far. But anyway, I'm cutting away, and I used the manual ones, and I was standing and sitting and pulling on the hedges to keep my balance, and everything was going great. It was a wonderful experience. And next thing I hear is panting and whining, and it was like right there, when usually it would be way back over there, like in the back of the house. So I look to the sides and I don't see anything, and I'm like, okay, and I keep cutting. Well, I caught a glimpse in the corner of my eye, and I look, and who do you think I saw? But my blue-gray dog peering around the corner of the hedge. And then when he saw I saw him, he backed up and darted the other way. I was like, are you kidding? So, needless to say, I had to stop what I was doing and try to round up my dogs, who I come to find out were both on the street, and they were taunting me. And once the one dog knew that I saw that they were out and about, they just started running past me, like to the next yard, and then back over to the house, and then in a great big huge circle, and then darting. And the neighbors, the houses around, were screaming at the dogs, go home, go home. And I was like, yeah, go home. I was like, bad dogs. And then I was at my end, and I'm like, you know what, man, I'm out of here. And I've got my walker and my cutters, and I'm headed back towards the back of the house, because I tried to let them in through the front and they wouldn't go in. So I'm like, okay. Lo and behold, those dogs beat me to the back gated part of the yard, and then crawled back into the hole that they created in their house to escape in the first place. And they're standing there inside their compromised cavern, staring at me like, what? We didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, you were crazy. You didn't see what you saw. So I could see that this was a sign. So knowing that this is literally what my dogs did to me last night, I can only imagine the shenanigans of others that may be trying to pull the same taunting tricks. And if this is happening within your reality, what I did was I stepped back, I collected myself, I said to my spirit team, please round them up and bring them home. And I was like calling them as I was gathering my stuff, getting ready, and that's when they started to taunt me. As they saw that I was getting ready to leave them. Like, I'm going back in the house. You don't want to come in? Yeah, are you going to find a new home? And yeah, I outright asked them. So they decided that it was safer to come home. And they hid their head and hid their tail And because I told them that was shameful. They could have gotten hit by a car because they were darting in and out. I live on a busy street. I told them I don't have like property like that. So the moral of the story is, if something of this fashion is happening within your domain, when you separate yourself from the situation and you walk away from it or appear as if you're leaving, like, okay, you can only do what you can do. You've got free will. Let's see what you're going to do with it. My free will is going to take me where I know that I'll be safe and I'll vibrate high. And, I'll have my spirit team around me. And, like my dogs fell back into place, acting as if they didn't do a damn thing wrong, could very well be what you might encounter. But they did know that they did wrong, and they did hide from me the rest of the night because, I was upset with them. Although, I didn't yell and scream and take it out on, anybody. I was silently grateful that they did come home and that they didn't make me go crazy looking for them. Because, although my balance is getting better, I don't have the ability currently to walk the streets and hold a lead for two dogs that are just have a mind of their own. Like, I would never walk them. They like to pull as it is. And that's primarily my fault. And that's because when they were tiny, I didn't have the mental or physical energy left to teach them after it took me all day to be able to accomplish two things. And that's, because I was humped up and, everything halted and had to be done in way slower moves. So the end of the day pretty much came quick. But what I can say is that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Because as much as, I didn't expect that the neighbors were going to be receptive to my dogs running the streets, they were actually quite helpful. And as much as I didn't expect my dogs were going to, not only come back, but go right back into the cage they broke out of, was, it was a moment that I took to thank the universe. Because what it showed me was that while you're on your road and you're doing your task, right, or what need to be done in order to better your life and others, right, turmoil can happen in between and maybe disrupt you or, push you out a little bit. But as long as you handle it with grace and poise and tact and include your spirit team, go back to finish where you left off on the endeavor that was interrupted, holding gratitude and thankfulness in your heart, then you will soon find that even in the toughest jams, things will fall right back into place. Not like there wasn't a hair messed out of whack, you know what I mean? Like an alfalfa or whatever. Yeah, metaphorically, something, that stops you, pokes you, says, take a look at me before you complete what you were doing type of energy. Just know that there is always sunlight at the end, and a rainbow always appears. And a rainbow is a circle. We only see one half of it. So when you see the half of the rainbow that's illuminated to you, just know that there's another part of that rainbow that is, encompassing all of the colors in which you see, showing not only you, but someone else will be able to see what you can't. It's amazing how life works. So have faith. Stay determined. Don't let chaos kick you off your path. And respond. Don't react. Have gratitude and thankfulness. And continue, when you can, the task that you started. I can't wait to hear if chaos interrupted your endeavor or if you were able to sail straight through from beginning to end without one hiccup. It's always my pleasure, my lovely collective. From me to you, light, love, positivity, abundance, blessings, always, every day. Till the next time, I love you.